When you start to feel out of sync, then okay, I'm pulling myself in a direction that's about chaos, and I need to get myself back to peace. So people do Wayne Cook. You can cross your legs, cross your ankles a different way, however you want to do it. But I need to get myself regrouped again. And I want everybody to just kind of breathe in and out. And I want everybody to set the intention that spirit is going to give you all the answers you seek. And so when you have worry and fear, you're just going to just pass it up. Watch it like a little tornado go all the way up and out of your head. And you're going to feel as above, so below, coming in sync. And you're going to feel the energy going up and down your spine like the Kundalini of balance. And you're going to see all these figure eights in your system. And I want you to know what peace is. And if you haven't learned, this is when you learn it. Where in your time have you ever remember peace? Kids are all in bed. Nobody's in the house. Early morning, late at night. After a long day, you're sitting there with your feet up. Sitting with a friend and saying nothing but just being there with each other. Let your mind know what peace is first. Because you have it. You really do. And when your heart and your mind can go into the peace, regardless of what's going around you, you energetically can start affecting your body. Breathing is a must. Okay, now I'm going to switch. You can switch whenever you want. And just sit with it. Just sit with it. Now you can do this meditation as many times as you want. I didn't do it right the first time, your ego says. Okay, awesome. The gate is all open till August 12th. And we still have the peak to come up with. And it is, it started on July 26th. So the gateway is open. The veil is thinned. You can do this 10, 20 times. You can even do it after the event. You just say thank you with intention that you're going to hook up to the gateway and it'll happen. Everything's a spiral. Nothing is linear unless we're viewing it. But when you use intention, it'll make an incredible difference. There you go. So then for those that are watching, just unwrap everything, your ankles, everything. And then you just make a pyramid. You put it between your third eye. Now my third eye is turning on. There is actually a light beaming from the middle of my hands where my third eye would be sitting. So I feel like let my light shine is coming through. And so it's like beaming so that other people can beam back, that's what I feel. So hello, everybody. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much for shooting that one. I can feel that. I can feel everybody giving back like hugs and kisses. It's like another namaste. This will be our greeting in another life. Hello, namaste. All right. Thank you so much for that. Now, that was weird. Oh, white feathers, Lily appeared. People are going to be coming in. So it is important that if you're going to do certain events with me, understand there may be a classroom of stuff that I've done before or that you can rewatch. Now, this is all about the lion. So I'm picking the colors of today. It has to do with me feeling like a lion. And then I'm going to put my crown on and fix it ever so slightly to allow myself to know that I am the king and queen of the jungle of my world. Not my monkeys, not my circus, but this is. I have a slight color of green to do with flesh tones. The color is important. If you feel, just check in with your color. Right down to my skivvies. I feel everything is in place, except for my feet are cold. That's all right. And we have some amazing socks that I had created. I'm sure I could put on my feetsies, you know. So just adjust yourself if you feel like that you're not wearing the right color or the most comfortable clothes. I got my stretchies on, my leggings. So yes, they kind of match to some degree. We're going to do things out of sorts. So if you haven't done it, have all of your stuff while I'm doing this part. You can lay the 8 out around you as I'm talking. Now I'm only going to just put these back in. Again, you put them in a circle that's best for you. And, oh, well, do you want to come or not? Yes? Okay. Well, why were you doing that? Okay, so let's see. Well, okay. I love you guys. Yes, I talked to my rocks. And of course, you can't see it, but he's in the puff light. He's a little talkative. He's the gatekeeper. He says, I want to ask the 3 questions before people get back in. I said, please don't do that to me when I come in. So there's all these jokes. There's my door. Here's my door. So make sure my door is shut, because when you start up the elevator, you're going to know why. Breathing in, breathing out. Is it essential that you have all these? No. Again, learn that you have intention. Intention is going to make an incredible thing for you. Look up the word duress while I'm talking, and I want you to feel duress. We're going to talk just a little bit about that and do some healing, because you don't need this to where we're going. Okay. And thank you very much, Spirit. Can you see this? The 3 pyramids? You see these 3 stars?
Yep.
That is what's called Orion's belt. Okay. And this is important this year, because this has not happened for at least 2,000 years. And it is associated with the 3 kings, the 3 wise men. It is associated with the 3 sisters, or the 3 sister stars, but it also is associated with Jesus. Okay. So this phenomenon of the alignment of the planets haven't happened for 2,000 years. This is why people are saying, well, how do you know so certain that spirit or even spirit's telling you all this and that the earth is going to make it? It's because it's already been planetary aligned. It's the civilization that needs to change in order for us to survive. Earth will always survive. She will always raise the frequencies. But this year, it's about the consciousness of the collective, of getting and waking up and getting out of that karmic wheel that we call hell loops. People don't realize it. Now, it's not that it's evil. We had to take an involution to find out what love isn't and what love is. And so we have something to compare it by. Every year, between the ages of July, the dates of July. Now, the date varies. This year, it's from the 26th to the August 12th. Every day, bathe in it. The earth is bathing in this cosmic, powerful energy waves. If you haven't felt them, then you can start tuning in. And what does this do? In this year, it's about the alignment that's going to help humanity, collective consciousness, to upgrade. We're finally leveling up more people. And this is what's called more or less like the awakening. It's about psychic awakening. It's about knowing how you know on a very level that you don't know how you know, but you know how you know, and that's all you need to know. But it isn't ego. It is spiritual. This is why I come in to really move the wave, to help people understand there's 2 types of mindsets, and they really need to gravitate to understanding what those are. The veil between the spirit world and the earth world is very thin. And this is where now the communication process can really be in alignment. So now all of a sudden, what you thought you couldn't see, you're going to be able to understand. And your eyes, that not your physical eyes, for those that have spiritual eyes and spiritual ears and spiritual sensory system, you're going to begin to know that that has nothing to do with fear. And all of a sudden, you're going to start amazing yourself. But you have to get your ego out of the way. Now, the cosmic shift means, or is known as, the Lion's Gateway. The cosmic shift gateway. The Lion's Gate is a cosmic alignment that occurs when the sun is in the sign of the Leo. Roar, that's why we have the lion. During this cosmic alignment, Sirius, one of the brightest in the sky, okay, the star Sirius, along with the Orion's belt, like I explained, over the pyramids. The pyramids were built for the cosmic alignment and actually help the earth charge. So they knew something we didn't. There was mystics and all of these that before religion came in and said all those are bad and they had to be hidden. All that information was always there. But there is, like I said, the Bible reference, okay, that the 3 wise men followed the star to Bethlehem to see the birth of Jesus. And in this case, it was to see the birth of Sirius. Okay, so to see the star, to see it. Now, Sirius is the spiritual sun, and it is also this cosmic alignment. So we're learning how to bring body and mind back together. And that's very important to understand. So the mystics knew in Egypt that the strong connected to star Sirius and could sense that spirituality or spiritual energies, activating energies, flowed from it. They could feel it. They literally understood. So just like how the sun illuminates the physical world, Sirius illuminates your spiritual world. And Sirius is like twice the size of the sun and 25 times brighter. Can you imagine that with your soul and your spirit to be able to illuminate in the spiritual world? And it activates by revealing these divine wisdom and truth. And it becomes, you can see the entryway. So when we start up in our little elevator, that's what the rocks are for, you'll start to notice this is where you may be entering. And you'll know because you're in, and have you ever seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and you see the elevator goes up? This is kind of like whatever ride you want to have. This is what the elevator can do. It depends on the pathway. It depends on what you want to experience. Okay. But when we get there, you're going to see this brightness that says the doorway is open for you because you've said, yes, I'm ready to experience this. Now, if you fall asleep and you don't like, wow, I didn't physically experience this, that's okay. Remember, that's the mindset. But there's a part of you that's opened up. It's opened up. It's opened up. So just to understand that what's another part that's important that it is just that this coincides with Lionsgate. And this is where Lionsgate is occurring simultaneously where the planets are aligning. So you have Uranus North Node conjunction and will strongly influence the collective energies, and which sets the tone for the rest of the year. So go in with a very healing piece of your heart. So you're going to go in with your cup and you're like going to sit in the moment and you're going to allow yourself to see that the world is going to repair itself. You're going to line up, there's the answer, not focus on, oh my God, no, there's the answer. You're just going to sit and wait and write it out, and Spirit will tell you when to act and what to do. But your ego is just like sitting there going, oh, I'm distracted, and just literally, be distracted. So all of these points are very important because it's this is a triple conjunction between Mars, Uranus, and the North Node. Each one represents something. The North Node represents humanity's collective direction and purpose. Uranus is about transformation, and Mars is about what drives us. This is why duress has to be healed out. This cosmic alignment is for major quantum leaps in our collective growth. So as we sit there, you're going to have downloads. And understand, if you get tired and you don't want to do any more downloads, that's just your ego, because your spirit already had downloaded. You just have to become more aware of it. But if you want to slow down the pace, again, you have that choice. You always have free will. Okay, just remember that. Now, it's also upgrading our relationship to Mother Earth. You happen to walk outside and you've never noticed it before, but all of a sudden you walk by and it looks like this rock's looking at you. Chances are you're recognizing consciousness and things. And it's just that it's doing its best to beam love. And so that there can be this connection of closeness. And you know, it's like that with your animals or your loved ones. You're like, oh my God. And it creates that heart coherence with what you need. So we're transcending out the fear of lack. And that means a lot of these old personalities and paradigms are starting to come to the surface. This picture of the lion, see it? How beautiful. And it says, I know I was on the right path when I started feeling peace in situations where I would normally feel tension. So you're going to sit back and grab a cup of peace and sit and know it among the chaos. And just remember, you can always be defined as 500 hertz and above. To enter into the consciousness, we are asked to become powerful by empowering others and becoming greater than our environment, and learn to resolve to evolve and become empowered through enlightenment. Okay, so learn when you're out of sync. Learn the very simple tactic of stop, out of sync, and heal. And there's a little bit more information if you want. But we're here to talk about changing the philosophy aspect, because people in the level of consciousness, the philosophers decided how the planet should be. Now it becomes an individual thing. And so remember, you're just going to stop. I'm out of sync. And go heal yourself. Because in the end, it's you. And people are demanding. Just stop. Breathe. You're out of sync, and just go heal yourself. Do your best. People can wait. Sometimes you can. There are things, and you can argue with me. Your spirit goes, no, I got to do that. Fine, but you're telling yourself, I know what peace is, while other things feel crazy. Be aware of that, okay? Who wants to tell me what duress means? What did you discover? Okay, wonderful, thank you.
So when I was looking it up, it actually reminded me of my childhood, you know, kind of like being threatened or manipulated to do something that you don't want to do.
Exactly. And they'll call you stubborn.
Yeah.
They're trying to push the buttons. So,
yep.
Thank you. Simple things. And duress is stress in the body. You may not think so, but my adrenals don't shut off because they're under duress. And these are the fine tunings of following the major to the minor. I shut it off on my youth because there was always duress, like she said, childhood. And my body has been paying for it ever since. And it comes from a male energy, not trying to blame anybody particular, but it was my experiences. So this is what happened. Just recently I said, Spirit, I said, where do I still have duress? And with grace and ease. And I had a plumber come over just so they could hook up something. And it was then I could see my mother, I could see my father, I could see my sister, I could see everybody. Their needs, their particular outcome is what they wanted. And they could tell me my reality. And because he's a plumber from Australia and I'm from America, I must have looked like an easy target. I just wanted the bathtub hooked up. That was it. And I noticed that time is going by and I'm feeling the energies. And part of the duress, when other people get that want to control the room with their emotions, or if they're angry, if any of this, or they want a particular outcome, you know, and he was projecting his reality that I'm going to replumb everything in the bathroom. To the point I was under duress that this deal's going to go bad if I can't guarantee the prices tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. And just pushing and pushing. And I ran out the door and I said, where's my husband? Because he wasn't there. I knew, I just wanted space, but he was like glue. And I'm like, finally, get the fuck out of my face. I couldn't say that to him because you have to have manners. You must be polite. But I was stressed and it was under duress. You're making decisions under duress. This is also what's part of helplessness. This is why some people will sit there and where you want them. This is why if you go to the extreme of thinking about some of these horror shows but real life where kids are taken and then locked into a room and you don't get food until you do as I say. Reward and punishment. This whole thing's got to go off the planet because it forces lack and they have all the answers. And so people put under duress. I mean, here, sign this and that. I'm just like, go away. And I finally, when I realized my whole nerves were shot, and I was watching the whole time with my spirit. And I thought, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then it watched how it started to create a phenomenon of unfolding with other people. And I had to watch it. I knew I had to play it out to watch it. And in the end, I won because I took my power off everything. But I finally understood right down to the very cells what duress is. To the morning that I woke up, and thank you, Spirit, I'm happy, I'm getting out of bed. And I noticed I was tiptoeing to the kitchen. I'm like, it's just me and my husband here. When the hell am I tiptoeing? I'm hearing la 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 la, and then I go, shh. And I had to pay attention. Wait, my bird's outside. He was put me under duress. It's like when you try to get up and you don't want the kids to know you're awake. You just need that moment. And then as soon as I cough or I fart or I make a noise with a cup, the bird's gone, oh, hello, you coming back? I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired of those words. But it was under duress to the simplest things that I was doing self-imposed limitations where I couldn't even just walk in my own house without feeling that I'm going to get, somebody's going to bombard me with all their attention and me. And I thought, oh my God, my body's stressed and it should be completely happy. I got a great life. But we don't realize that it carries and stems from all of this, the attention of all their attention. I want your attention. I want your attention. I want your attention. Take a breath. It's like, yeah. But the duress, you can be sitting like you are right now, very calm, but your body knows that oh God, they're going to come in and interrupt my space. You're in duress right there if you think somebody's going to come into your space. So duress doesn't just have a words that needed wonderfully defined, but it has memories, like she said. But it also does this in your body. It's like you had too many cups of coffee and you need a beer. God, let me calm down. You just want to put the cloak on. Oh, I'm disappeared. And then when you forget to take the cloak off and you get hit and you're hurt and you're like, well, what? Why don't you look where you're going? Well, take your cloak off and people would see you. We do these things to ourselves. So do you have an experience that you can't show up the way you want because somebody says, well, I don't like your behavior. Don't wear that. Going out with that? Well, I'd think twice. Words, just simple freaking words would cut you, and they knew it because they had a particular outcome. They want to sell you on their reality. I can't explain this enough. I would be bombarded. Well, since you're up, go do the simplest things. And it's like I didn't even want to get up because I know they're going to ask. That I put these self-imposed limitations and then I put these restrictions on myself. Oh, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to go. No, if you do that, take the trash out, go mow the lawn. Can you relate? And that's what I want you to do. I want you to just feel it and go, where in the hell is it? And for me, it's everywhere in my nervous system. I mean, it's just as simple as walking to the bathroom in the middle of the night. My body goes, oh, I'm like, why? They hear people at night, third shift. And you had to learn how to walk like a mouse in order for them to sleep. And as soon as they holler out, you got to tend to them. For me, it was insanity. Out of the 6 S's, safety, security, stability, sanity, serenity, and space, it was insanity. It wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop. And it just felt like it was constantly eating at me. It want my attention. I mean, that's how my body describes it. You got to find the words. So I just want you to sit with it. If you feel like you got enough information of what duress is, oh my God, the bitching, the moaning, but feel how you've self-imposed where you can't, I can't really buy that, or I can't really put this on because somebody hates that color, or I'm going to make this noise. Just quiet, I'm trying to. You just want to exist. And that's what you tell yourself, and that becomes the problem. because your brain says that you're not supposed to thrive. You can only exist. And when that program comes into play, you can't make it in the world because you have thought to yourself and taught yourself, I can only exist quietly. I'm not allowed to make noise. I was a child that was supposed to be not seen nor heard, but yet go get this and go get that. These people lived in fear. I was always their problem solver. As soon as I learned how to drive, oh, I don't want to go to the store today. You go do it. And you're like, you know how I hated buying cigarettes. I'm so glad they made it illegal for kids under 18 just to not have to buy it. Have to go to the store. I look like an alcoholic and a person that smoked a bunch of cigarettes. This kid going up to the register, putting it up there and giving the money and then going home. That was weird. Now that I look back, it just is too weird. You wouldn't see that today. I was a little go-getter. Not that I wanted their attention. Good God, no. And it's so hilarious coming from the family that the one that wanted all the attention got it through all, causing so much trouble. I just wanted not to be picked on or chosen to fix it or carry the load of everybody else, but the duress. But here's the thing, a gaslighter, a narcissist that just knew exactly that if he wanted something done a certain way, if he didn't like it, he knew exactly what buttons to push. You don't need that. My body is still saying you still have stress. When other people start revving up, my body starts revving up, and now I'm stressed and I don't even know it. My head's fine, my mind's fine, but my body starts to fall apart because my water is matching yours. Of my thoughts that are from the conditioning that I have to do it and do no time for rest, and that's lazy. Then my body mind goes into overwhelm. That a duress I have experienced. Yes, absolutely. I have seen people that I can't sit still because mom and dad's gonna walk in any minute now and then accuse me of something or getting mad at me and yes, heal it out. Those thoughts. Well, you're being lazy and you just finished. It's like you can't let anybody see you not, sitting, because can you see all the stages? And I want you to heal those all out. Brenda, so many people wanting me to take on the problems that they create for themselves. Oh God, you know what I mean? Pay, clean, house, up, and whatever. Yeah, it's never ending, because if you have more than one, you ever have a sick person in bed and you got to constantly hear that bell ring? Oh, then you feel like a butthead. You feel like you're but there is this, I want to say not corporium. There's a certain type of, because I know when I was sick in bed, I would like, nope, you don't need to ring that bell. You can do it yourself or you can wait. I refused to be needy because I was worn out, because I always had to take care of needy people. She says, and if I don't, they keep throwing their victim persona at me. Yeah, oh my God, yes. Oh, the words, I mean, it was always, for me, it was always this loud, and they were always like these sharp energies. And it's like, oh, just fine, just get up and do it. And then they'll shut up. And what I'm going to tell you is that the reason you don't need this is because you don't need to create a future like that. It's part of our attraction factor. Again, this is not a thank you. It's part of how your soul says, what you knew in the past is what you got to constantly see. And then you got to attract all these people in to keep doing the story until you get the wisdom and say, whoa, no more, time out. I'm out of sync. I got to go heal this shit because I can't do this anymore. Because the restrictions we put upon ourselves when we're so burnt out and our body's going, you can't get up and do it anymore. Yeah, watch me. I got this. And then your body's sitting there going, but we're falling apart. We need to sleep. We need to eat right. We need to hygiene. We need, yeah. You're just going to have to wait. I don't have anything left. They're screaming over there. A person is in depression over here. This is happening here. Everybody's saying they're starving. Everybody hates everybody. Oh my God. And it's just the energy alone. You can sit in the toilet and you're still feeling everybody's stuff. That's what I want you to heal out. You understand? And this is why it's so important we start to transform it. And when we go up, we want to get our cup of peace, no matter. And then when you start learning how to do a cup of peace, in the middle, of all of this. And you got to remember, one of the things you're going to heal out is that were you told to have manners? Were you told to have be polite? Good Lord. I sat there and I said, Spirit, I need all the details. Spirit made her say several things in a row. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to stop being angry at myself because I didn't do what they wanted. Wow, that was huge to sit there and have to heal out. And it's not that I can't be angry. I don't have to take that anger on because they're mad because they didn't get what they wanted. I don't have to do it because of politeness. I don't have to hug an old creepy old man because somebody told me to and then have him fill me up and then I have to say nothing. I don't have to. And I don't have to. This is what I want you to understand. You can have manners, but you don't have to let certain people cross the line anymore. You should start seeing your physical body being more happier and healthier. Here's the problem. We haven't taken care of the duress, because that is the lofty. That is the energy coming at us, the rewards and punishment. It's how we can't stop seeing it. Oh my God. Because one of the things is that I sat there and I realized that I could rise, and I had to, as that guy was standing there, I started to pull my energy back and pull it up through my feet and feel it coming up into my body. I said, no, you can't have me. And I just kept taking my power back. And I'm politely like, until he got off my property. And then I turned it all around and I took my power back. He didn't even know it was coming. And that way he couldn't make it stop. So this is a thing that you have to understand. Another thing that she just said was the duress is when people lose their shit. They can't control the situation, or they want to show you how well they can control the situation. They feel like they're ripped off, and they're going to sit there and not take responsibility, but they want to throw away that round, I'm right, you're wrong. Even though they know they're wrong, I'm right. And so they're just going to throw this shit around, and everybody learn how to be bitches. And it's about duress. It's about the healing. I want you to understand it. If you haven't figured it out, just think about it. Where do you put people under duress that you want to fix their wagon? Where do you want to do this? Where? Because you may not realize that your actions is not about receiving, but you're about sending. Okay, so notice how if you judge other people because you're like, this is not what it looks like. This is not what it is. And now you're mad at everybody and you want to tell them what for. Because I chose a long time ago not to copy my father. And it's like curbing and suppressing it. I don't want to curb and suppress it. You want to heal it out because you don't need that buildup in your head while you're putting on your smile. Whether it's a statement, the thoughts in your head that are running sounds like you, but they're not really you. The self-imposed limitations. And sometimes I'm going to tell you that when you go to heal this out, you're going to probably have to put some people in the front part of your head, whether it's your husband or your children or your relatives or your people at work, because you have to understand how you do anything is how you do everything. And you have already done the past. And if you've invested in there and left your energy there and didn't close it, it's going to pick up and put it into your future, and you're going to walk into it, into the now. And what does that mean? That means that if I know he's going to be a dick. I know he's going to act like this. I know they're going to do this. I know that I know that's your spirit trying to tell you, look, this is how you know. Ego says this is already set in stone. It's not. So let's say I purchased the plumbing or something, and oh my God, I know he's going to be mad at me and he's going to scream. And what if he's that person? What if he's not that person, which he's not? Whose image is it? It was my family. They put all the decision on me, and I make the decision, and all of a sudden it's not the decision they want, and therefore I have to pay for it. And now I'm superimposing my past onto my husband, which is a filter, and it's not true. So you have to sometimes put all of that, and when you go to heal, and I'll show you the points in a minute, but you may have to put people in your forehead. And then you're going to, do you understand what I'm saying? I need you to understand how you know that tomorrow is going to turn out right now. You sit there and go, I know how my family's going. I know how to, she could do. No, we can just kind of clear that out and say we can take all that stress off without really have to have it. So it's kind of like a future healing. You know that they're going to act like this. You know you got to go to work like that. You know. So this is not untypical healings. That's all I can try to tell you, is that this is the stuff I'm going to be doing. This is how I know that I'm acting. This is how I know I don't want to deal with it. This is how I know what duress is. This is how I know that I have to take it. No, we don't. No, we don't. Okay? No, we don't. So this is how you heal them out. You're healing them, but not, oh, I'm healing them. You're healing them, the them that's in their head, the them that you know how they're going to be. But I needed you to see what duress is, what stress is, and what tomorrow. No, take the tomorrows, heal it out so you can have a better moment. So we pick it up and it puts in the future. You can actually heal it out as it comes in. So like, imagine it comes in as a filter. Oh, it didn't have to play out the way I thought. Why do we have to go English? I have no idea. Didn't mean to insult anybody if anybody's English. That was a really bad accent. So me and my husband were out to dinner, and they said, so we were going to celebrate me and my husband's birthday. They're quite a few months apart, but the problem is that to get together with family, we chose to stay, but then they made it all about them. Okay, let's invite other people over that's not even have to do with the birthdays. And we're going to tell about our big stuff, which was not even a big story. And I thought, and I looked at my husband, I said, I thought this was about, and I even kept myself out of the picture. He said, he told them, but they were like, oh yeah, we'll celebrate yours. And I said, well, how is celebrating us have anything to do with celebrating them and then their family? It's not celebrating family. And it's like when people suck energy out of the room and they make it about them, it's all story time about them. And the duress. And so all I said was, I said, I don't want to go. I don't really care to do this because I have so many other things that I want to do and joyfully do with my peeps or with you. I said, so why do we have to spend 8 hours over there? Just so that, you know, and I said, I know I sounds like I don't really know what's going to happen, but I've watched the pattern so far. And he says, you're right. So we made a decision right there. And so I wrote them and I says, look, I says, we're not going to be able to come. I was being honest and forthcoming. And when you're working with people in that energy flow, they don't want honesty because they know they can turn it around and make it about them. And then that's what they did. I can't understand you. My parents are great people. Oh my God. I said, it's not about you. And I'm thinking, God, I feel like I'm breaking up. And then it was all of a sudden, it was, they couldn't understand. They couldn't understand. That's the thing. When somebody breaks up with you, like, you can't understand. And I realized at that moment, even though I was being honest, I said, look, I don't want to come because it's a bigger thing. I said, I just wanted to celebrate my husband's birthday with family, really small, something I wanted, something he wanted. And they went on and on and on, and they started telling everybody down the chain. And I said, I'm not coming over if you're going to keep gossiping. Oh, that pissed me even more. So then I said, I'm done. One simple thing, but it was who they were. It was their character. So I had to heal that person out. They're drama queens. Everything's better. I didn't like I had to go through that. But I was tired of being stressed, put into positions where people want their reality only. Okay, you ready now? Important that you release, measure as much as you possibly can. You can do this healing afterwards, anytime you want, but please, I need you to start healing it so that you can become more whole. Now, I already see you whole. I'm already setting that tone in space.